Hi, is it from Zetster's Lab? Well, I was sitting on the couch watching cricket and watching tennis, and I feel the last couple of days a little bit offish. I just felt unease, and then I feel better, then I feel worse. And our life has come to a standstill with hubby's tearing or ripping his whole tendon off, and now he's on crutches for 8 months. So it feels as if my life is over. And I was sitting there and I felt a little sick, and I felt a little sorry for myself. And I thought, oh well, I think the video is on. And I thought, my life is over. And the next minute it just came to me. Life can never be over. Your life, the life that I am, the life that you are, can never be over. It is forever and ever, always and always. And even though I feel a little bit offish, life is still abundantly alive. And that's when I looked out of my window and I just saw outside. I saw my garden in full bloom. I don't think my garden has ever been so beautiful, because we had so much rain. We were in a drought for 7-8 years, and then this year the rain came, and it's just glorious outside. And then I thought, let me just go outside to just see, to just realize once again, to just become part of the abundant life. Because how can I not realize that life is flourishing and abundantly gorgeous and beautiful if I'm not outside looking at nature just doing its thing? Some plants are blooming. My whole garden is full of lavenders blooming all over the place. The smell is just absolutely divine. When I crush it like this, it's just gloriously beautiful. So I was walking in my garden, and then I realized, you know what, I'm just going to pluck myself a huge bunch of lavender. I think I have about 10, 12 more than that lavender plants all over the place. And I thought, you know what, every time when I go to visit friends now, presently, I take a bunch of lavender and I give it to them. I bless them with it because it's abundantly growing in my garden. And then they always ask me, but what can we do with it? So, and then I thought, you know what, I tell everybody all of this, the same things over and over. So I think it's time to make a video of how you can make more lavender plants just after you receive a little piece of lavender. There is so much you can do. Some of my friends, they just keep it like this, just hang it upside down, because then they will dry beautifully like this. So you can just let it hang and it will dry, and you can use it in your room, under your cushion, wherever the dried lavenders. Or you can go, when I give you the lavender, or when you pluck lots of lavender, you can really just put it in a vase full of water and just leave it there until it really starts to go off a little bit, dry out a little bit. But then that's not the last that you can do. So you will see, if you put it in and start losing its little leaves and become a little bit dry, then you just take it out, and then lots of times there at the bottom will be little bits of roots. So instead of throwing this now away, let's say this has now been in your vase for 2 weeks or so, and you realize, okay, now it's dying on me, then don't throw it out. So what I then do is I take each piece, and then if there's roots or no roots, it doesn't matter. So I just strip it a little bit, the bottom part, I strip it. I do this sometimes when I just see beautiful lavenders next to the door, next to the wherever I'm walking or in other people's gardens, and they give me a couple of pieces or so. When I go home, I do this. And this is what you can also do after you've had your lavender in water for a while. So what I do is I come home and I strip it, because you want your lavender pieces to make roots, because you want to plant it in your garden. So I don't go and buy lavender plants. I can do that if I want, very, very expensive, but I make my own slips, I think that's the word, and then I either put them in my garden directly, or I put them in a little glass, and then there in the little glass I allow them to make roots. And after they made roots, then I put them in the garden. Because as soon as you put that in the garden, you need to make sure you water them once a day, every second day, until they really start to grow. So first you just get rid of the leaves. Then I have my thingies. So what I then do is I just cut off the top part, 2/3. I cut it off. So now you can use this. You can put that in water. You can dry this. You can do whatever you want to do with that part. But then this, you can see, this will be perfect to either plant in your garden, plant it that deep in your sand, in your ground, or I put them in just a little cup. So, and then there I keep it for a week or 2 weeks. I just put in some clean water every now and again, and that is how I now allow. So this one again, I got rid of the roots. I cut off, because if you put this in the water, keep the water and the food keep looking after the whole plant. But I want to make roots, so I cut off. And I just break this, cut it. So there I have it. So I usually work in 3s, because one will always grow. So then I've got my I do another one just to show you. So you take your piece, you strip it off the leaves that you can use anywhere in your home. You cut off the top part. Voila! You can even take off more leaves, and you put it in, and then you just put it. I usually put it in my kitchen. There's a little bit of sun sometimes, but there's good light, so you just keep it there. Well, and so you can either do this, then you wait for the little roots to come, or I really just take 3 of these, 1 or 2 or 3. As I said, you put in 3, the chances are a little bit larger for it to grow. So you can either put this now in a pot with your sand, ground, compost, whatever. You just pushed it in there, and you water it, and you keep watering it once a day. Or you can put it in the ground where you want it, the spot that you want it to grow in your garden. You just put it in there. You make sure that you water it, because that's the thing. And voila, there you have your next lavender plant, your own plant in your own garden, and so that you can bless others. So today I would just wanted to share this with you. You don't have to go and always buy things. You can make your own slips of plants if you just get it as a present. So even with this that I've now plucked, I usually just take it off. Otherwise the water gets dirty so quickly. So I just clean the stems a little bit, and then I put it in my vase. And I go and put it in my room or somewhere in my house where I really just wanted a piece of life. And so thank you that I can share my journey with you, because my journey, to me, my garden is the place where I really find the life, the abundant life. Look there's little white ones. I even have bushes full of white lavenders, not only purple. So I am going to cut this off, put it there in this little thing, so that I can plant it directly into my garden after it has made some roots. So what do you do when you get lavenders? You either dry them, you just take them, hang it up, place it in a room, wherever you want it, or you can directly put it in a vase full of water. Make sure you just top it up the water every day. Or you can make slips. I'm sure that's the word. I'm not 100% sure, but you just make your little pieces. You either put them in water or you put them directly in your garden. So have a fantastic day. And when you start to believe all the lies that your mind is telling you about your life is over and blah, 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 just go outside and just go and look at the beautiful trees, at the beautiful plants in your garden, and just see how they grow. And even at this most beautiful tree that was just losing its growth, or I don't even want to say the word die anymore, because we just change form. So this beautiful tree, he started to grow old and suffer really suffered in the drought, and so it fell over and lost its life, call it that. But guess what? I allowed it to just fall over in my garden, and now it became compost and food for all the other plants. So it's still doing its thing, still nourishing, still part of the whole life ecosystem, just like we are. So your time is not over. Your time is never over. When you leave this body, you will still live on in other people's lives, and you're going to live forever. You're just going to lose this. So the same with my little plants that I pluck out of my garden. They're not dead. They're going to be used to nourish, to become other plants. Oh, you should see. I don't know why, but I've got lots of stones in my garden, and the seeds of the lavenders, they become little plants inside my stones, all over the place, self-sowing place. They sow, become self-sowing. So then I just pull the little plants out, and once again I either plant them in a little pot, give them away to my friends, or I just plant them all over my garden. Make sure that I water them. It rained lots, and the rain was just the perfect time. I just replanted the little seeds. And now, just because of that, my whole garden is full of lavenders. So remember, you have an awesome role to play. You are a puzzle piece in the huge puzzle of life, manifesting at this stage through your beautiful body. And you play your part. And what do you have to do? Nothing. You just have to be. Just be you. That's all that the abundant life in you is asking of you. Just be you. And the life in you will flow through you, doing what it wants to do in this realm. So there's no condemnation. There's no, I need to do this, I need to be this way, I need to blah, blah, blah. No. All you have to do is just be you, uniquely you who you are. And the abundant life in you will flow mightily through you, doing exactly what it wants to do. So you're perfect as is, and you're not dying. You are gonna live forever. And at this moment, you're exactly where you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you're supposed to do, being you, and no pressure. Have a fantastic day, is it from Zesters Lab. Love you lots.